Welcome to the Bravo Charlie Club podcast, making you 12 and a half minutes more awesome each week. He's Ben. I'm Richard. Let's go. Ben, how are you?
I'm well, mate. I've been reminded that it was my passion and promise that we would do new listener countries to call out. And so Hong Kong's joined us. We've got listeners from Hong Kong now. So Neho, which actually is it's actually quite formal. So we'll just go with hello, which is actually got quite an English sound to it, but it's a very Hong Kong word as well. So there you go.
There you go. Yep.
Thanks for listening, guys. Welcome. Richard, you went to Alice Springs this week.
I did, yes. I've just come back from Alice Springs. I did a 4-day gravel bike race around Alice Springs with rapid ascent called the Shimono Gravel Muster, which was fantastic fun.
For international listeners, just to put that in perspective, we live in Queensland on the coast. So you've flown for 3.5 hours to Central Australia to do a bike race.
To ride my bike in the desert on the funny thing about the roads around Alice Springs is that, like, in southeast Queensland, there's
bitumen.
Lots of gravel, lots of bitumen. The gravel roads are fairly tame and sort of like maybe slightly fire traily at the high end, or sort of fairly tame gravel at the low end. But Alice Springs, the outback roads are just nothing like it. Massive corrugations, huge pits of sand,
We've all seen Crocodile Dundee, mate.
Exactly. Yeah.
So hang on, just for perspective, for again, like listeners in the UK, we've got many. If you fly for 3.5 hours from Heathrow, you barely left the state. They would cross 4 countries.
They could cross 4 countries, yeah.
That's nuts. And you went there for a bike race.
I did. I went there for a bike race, and it was
sounds dumb.
It was great fun. It does sound a bit dumb. I was a bit undercooked on the training side too, leading into it, and I hurt my back 5 days out. Yep. Yeah. So all the signs were pointing to pull out or cancel, but no.
But you finished, right? You
finished it. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Everyone finished. Everyone who started the race finished the race.
Really?
So which was excellent. There was 80 odd people, 83, 82, something like that.
So we found 80 people to fly to the middle of Australia to do a 5-day bike race.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll
400
K's. My words. That just sounds dumb.
Of racing. Yeah. It was great. Actually.
Oh my goodness. Well done.
So that was me. How about you, Ben? It probably sounds like the dumbest thing ever to most people. What's the dumbest thing you've ever done?
It's the league leader. Dumbest thing I've ever done. Moved to Canada.
Why? Canada's awesome. What's wrong with Canada?
Canada is awesome, but not moving to Canada wasn't the dumb thing. It was the circumstances. So my wife and I were living in London, and Australians are blessed. We're allowed to travel into most countries, and we were living in London because of the visa availability. And while we were there, we discovered you could go to Canada. But also while we were there, the age limit changed and we were no longer eligible. So we moved back to Australia. And then
while you were in London, the age limit changed?
Yeah. So to go to Canada.
Right.
So we moved back to Australia thinking, we've missed that opportunity. And then the age limit changed again. And I told Tanya about it, and she's like, oh, cool. And so she went off and booked tickets and visas and worked everything out. And I thought she wanted to go because she was putting all the effort into it. And she thought I wanted to go because I'd mentioned it while we were living in London. We didn't actually know that we were going for the other person until we got there. And she said, well, I don't even like the snow, so I hope you enjoy the time here. And I was just like, what are you talking about?
I'm here because you wanted to be here.
I thought you wanted to go. You booked everything. And she was like, yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty dumb. And we were married at the time. It wasn't like we weren't talking to each other. We just completely got that one wrong, hey? So that's not a 5-day trip in Alice Springs. That was like a 9-month trip.
Yeah, it's a big chunk of life, that one.
Yeah.
But it costs more too.
But the stories that we got out of it and the learnings that we got out of it were amazing. travel is such a gift that we have in this world. We turned it into a fun time, as you can. So,
Awesome. Fantastic.
But definitely, if you ask Tanya now, she'll go straight there. It was at the time we were like, when the realization, it was just like, what happened?
Yep.
And talking of travel, though, it brings, obviously, we'd love to have a regular travel tip. I caught on a social media feed this week an awesome tip that I want to share, and I'll drop the link into the show notes. But a guy, he's not a listener, or at least I don't think he is. AP left his laptop in a hotel, and he was in a kind of international country on his way to the airport, and he actually rang the hotel and said, "I've ordered a Uber, because you can use Uber for courier."
Yeah.
And the Uber courier went and picked up the laptop and basically followed him to the airport, which, I mean, it's a very simple solve, right? But when you think about the stress he would have been under, because no one goes to the airport too early.
Yeah.
It would have been on a timeline to have the wherewithal to think that through, order the courier, ring the hotel, make sure the laptop was brought down to the lobby, handed off to the correct person. Pretty great problem solving, I thought. So
it's fantastic. Lots of moving parts in there.
Too many.
And it lined up.
Yeah. And I've done it. I actually left my laptop at the office in Sydney, and I was on my way to the airport. And, I've got the Find My, the device warnings coming up on my Apple phone saying, you've left something behind. And I usually ignore them because it's, I've normally left my, my bag in the hotel room or something. They ping off all the time.
Yeah.
So, that became a lesson to me when it said you've left your laptop behind, that I should actually, pay attention to those. Sometimes in this world, we have notifications and services that we have on and then don't use. And that was a lesson to me. So having been in the exact situation as this person and the way he solved it, I was impressed. It resonated with me.
Yes. Yeah. Nice save. Indeed.
Yeah. Hey, we've been getting some listener feedback. I think listener EL actually binge listened to several episodes because the feedback we got covered several episode topics. The first one being she was adamant that spaghetti cannot be used in lasagna, and she was very worried about the nonnas of the world.
Is that because it's not lasagna? If it's got spaghetti in it, it's something else. It's like baked lasagna or something.
We went with baked spaghetti in the end, but I think she just found that highly offensive
and contentious.
Yeah.
Okay, both boxes ticked.
Yeah. Did remind us that we hadn't actually solved what the best pasta shape was on that manner, and put in a vote for macaroni, which I completely disagree with. Macaroni is a kid's food.
I think macaroni is good for the impatient, I think, because it does cook
because it cooks fast.
Yeah, super fast. Yeah.
Okay. So but where do you sit on the best pasta shape?
I mean, I think it depends what sauce you're having with it. So
fancy, are you?
Yeah, no, fancy. We're a big fan of the homemade pesto, actually.
Yeah, okay. So what do you put with that?
I think it's usually a penne, actually.
Yeah, that's a fair call. I like those bow tie ones. I feel like because you can stab them with a fork. Because
you're fancy.
Yeah, well, I think that's the first time I've ever been called fancy. But I like being able to eat. If I can eat food one-handed, that's the ultimate thing for me. That's why I love chopsticks. So,
right.
Yeah.
Because you can just stab it with one.
Well, there's one when it goes really wrong. Yeah,
that's right. Not so good with peas, but anyway.
No, I'm actually quite adept with chopsticks now. So that's why I love being able to eat this one-handed. I don't know why. Probably because I'm just completely useless with my left hand. The only thing I can do with my left hand is brush my teeth.
Really?
Which reminds me, a dentist wrote in. Richard said once a year is not enough for you to be dental flossing, mate. Just a heads up.
well, to be fair, I do get my teeth cleaned twice a year, so I floss at least twice.
Okay.
But it's probably the same rule probably applies.
Yeah, we are held accountable by so many people.
By so many listeners.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to hold us even more accountable, certainly shoot us an email or send us a text. Join us on the Inner Sanctum and WhatsApp. We've actually started to share some videos there of tips we're getting from our listeners, which has been really cool. Hey, the conundrum of the week, mate, we alluded to this, gift giving.
Gift giving, yep.
I've got this theory that there are things that are just too personal to buy for other people.
Yes, right.
And I just wondered, like, are you a gift giver? Like, where do you sit on that? Like, and I'll give you for context. Like, I would never buy anyone a watch or a wallet. I just think that they're so personal, especially wallets. Because everyone's got different amounts of credit cards or doesn't carry coins or doesn't like zippers or whatever. I just think that someone should be making that choice themselves. I know watches are regularly given, especially the higher valued ones, and that's hard to sort of say, no, I don't like that type of Rolex. Can I have a different one?
Yes.
So that's a bit difficult. But where do you sit? Like, is there a line in the sand for you?
Well, there is actually, and so I guess where I see, it's really hard to triangulate what people have and don't have. So I think for me, it's vouchers all the way. So like movie voucher or vouchers to a store or a shop, and then I can sort of get what I want. I've got all the stuff that I need, really.
Yeah.
You just give me more stuff. That kind of creates. That sort of almost creates anxiety, right? When you kind of get something from a good friend and they kind of give you something and you feel obligated to keep that thing, even though you don't need it, want it, or like it, sort of thing. But where vouchers, particularly for experiences, movie vouchers, great, love the movies.
Experience voucher, is that a sign of our age? Like,
it could be. It could
younger
very well
listeners
be.
would be like, "What are you talking about? Just give me stuff," But
yeah.
But I think
How about you?
You got a house full of things, and I love to give wine because if I know the person's a wine drinker, or something that can be consumed and then there's no evidence, enjoyed once. So it's
the evidence is disposed
get rid of the evidence. Yeah, you know what I mean, though. It's there's no sort of thing being left around that they have to pretend that they like or enjoy, or it's just, or hopefully you've got it right, because obviously what can go wrong with wine or whiskey or those types of things as well. But that's where I sit. The idea for me and my values are reflected in the gifts that I give, I guess. And, so giving experiences and things that I hope people will enjoy is where I've tried to position that part of my life. But whether I get it right or not, well, someone can write in and tell me.
But you better not, or you won't get another one.
Don't write in. I'm a grumpy old man. Hey, that's it, Richard. Listeners have been BCC'd on our week. Next week, we're going to ask in our conundrum of the week, what's the appropriate amount of your neighbour's lawn that you're allowed to mow? So see you next week. Bravo Charlie Club, out.
And that's the pod.